Over the course of the millennia, we have developed countless theories and told endless stories within the realm of paranormal pop culture. And there have been a lot of misconceptions that have taken root in the public's consciousness. Believe it or not, even when dealing with mysterious realm of ghosts, aliens, and creatures, there are some things that we can confidentially label as false. So to clear up some incorrect assumptions about the unexplained, let's take a look at the top 10 paranormal stereotype questions that people think are true. Paranormal facts exist. The term paranormal applies to anything currently beyond the range of scientific explanation. So anyone who claims they have access to the rulebook of the paranormal and that they know a foolproof way of making ghosts go boo is probably a charlatan or about to be pretty famous. Plenty of researchers, including reputable scientists, have compelling theories about the unexplained phenomena and are attempting to apply those utilizing the scientific method, but so far, paranormal facts don't quite exist. Ghosts only come out at night. There are a lot of reasons why ghosts would hunt at night. The world quietens down as the day fades away, and some locations only let you enter after the close of daytime business hours. It is much creepier at night, and most importantly, it's the best time to play with your sweet night vision camera. But if you want to chase ghosts, you can just effectively do it during the day. According to most paranormal researchers, in fact, it might even be more of an effective time because that's when the dead people were probably most alive. There is no physical evidence of Bigfoot. While there have been no bodies found, Bigfoot researchers claim there is quite a bit of physical evidence to suggest the creature exists, including hair, blood tissue, what? Goddamn. While there have not been any bodies found yet, Bigfoot's researchers claim there is quite a bit of physical evidence to suggest the creature exists, including blood, hair, tissue, tracks, and yes, feces. There is also a growing community of scientists who believe in the Sasquatch or Bigfoot, including famed primatologist Dr. Jane Goodall and Dr. Jeffrey Meldrum of Idaho State University. Eric Altman of the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Society stresses that as far as the lack of physical remains, a dead Sasquatch, fossilization requires very specific conditions, and Mother Nature has been an effective system of breaking down animal remains in about 10 days, so a freshly dead specimen of the already rare creature would be hard to find. Only old buildings are haunted, right? Well, maybe not. A decrepit ancient Victorian mansion with broken windows, creaky floorboards, and moldy furniture may be the best haunted house in Hollywood, right? But it's not where ghosts necessarily hang out. Beyond just old houses, researchers claim to have found paranormal evidence in jails, asylums, hospitals, hotels, museums, battleships, cruise liners, cars, roads, and forests. New locations can also be haunted, as can the ground where a new building is established. Doesn't necessarily have to be a death on the property either. It is widely accepted within the paranormal community that objects and people themselves can focus on a haunting. America's paranormal fascination is new. It's really nothing new. Although the paranormal has become quite popular with the arrival of investigation-based reality TV shows, America's fascination dates back to the origins of the nation. The paranormal peaked in the US in the mid-19th century and early 20th centuries, with an introduction of spiritualism, a religious philosophy that espouses the communication with the spirit world is positive. Mary Todd Lincoln, Mark Twain, and Harry Houdini were among the American celebrities who became part of the paranormal conversation, and the public gathered in homes and auditoriums to connect with dead in seances beyond ghosts, future President Teddy Roosevelt wrote a frontiersman encounter with a Bigfoot-like creature in 1893. And other Sasquatch stories would periodically make their way onto the news. Long before the Battle of Los Angeles in 1942, or the Roswell incident in 1947, airships, or so they were called, were reported in the skies above America, and newspaperman S.E. Hayden wrote about the crash of such a ship in Aurora, Texas in 1897, about 6 years before the Wright brothers' first flight. Aliens are little green men in flying saucers. I mean, that's what everyone thinks is what an alien is nowadays. But yeah, actually the most popular aliens are little grey men according to believers in America. The Roswell incident, the creature supposedly had large black buggy eyes and a slit for a mouth, and have also been reported by eyewitnesses along with dozens of alien species as for flying saucer part. UFOlogists claim that we should add flying crescents, cigar-shaped crafts, triangular ships, and V-shaped craft to the classic flying saucer motif. No one still believes in vampires, but the bloodsuckers from the folklore have enjoyed a nice comeback in paranormal pop culture in the last few years. But they've never completely went away in some societies. Recently, Indian politicians have placed a $2,000 bounty on vampires sucking the blood from villagers' cattle in the town of Dharampuri in Tamil Nadu, which is called to mind the 2004 exhumation and subsequent staking of a corpse in Marantinu de Sus, Romania. The supernatural ghouls may not resemble the so-called sexy beasts of Twilight and True Blood. But they still are very much alive or undead in various parts of the world. Even within the United States, there are subcultures of individuals who believe they are among a class of vampire, with especially active groups in New Orleans and New York City. Apparently modern zombies are supernatural, but the term zombie has been used for well over a century, and before 1968 applied to seemingly soulless slaves created by Haitian voodoo magic. After 1968, when George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead was released, the term was forever changed. Modern zombies are the result of an unexplained contagion, but are not supernatural. According to zombie expert Matt Mogg of the Zombie Research Society, the modern zombie is a relentlessly aggressive, reanimated human corpse by biological infection. So supernatural vampires, mummies, Nordic drogs, and all revenants need not to play for brunch with this bunch. Skeptics and believers don't get along is what some people really think, but there are actually many skeptics involved in the paranormal community, and they are normally welcomed by investigative groups. When the two groups operate together, the skeptics can assist in disproving misidentified phenomena. If something cannot be disproven, it then leads believers closer to a possibly legitimate experience. Dave Schrader, the host of the paranormal TV show Darkness Radio, says paranormal believers are not at war with Skeptic Nation, and he embraces their input because he'd rather be taken seriously when findings are reviewed. Additionally, most skeptics are confused for cynics, but actively want a paranormal experience, but they want it to be real and not just a false positive. People think paranormal is bad for business. Even if the phenomena is unexplained, the business world is a big believer in the paranormal. Paranormal tourism, however, where travelers spend their vacation money on pilgrimages to genre conventions and famous hotspots, it is an active industry. Instead of shying away from paranormal reputation, locations are embracing it. Every city seems to have a few ghost tours, while haunted house attractions and vampire balls abound. And entire towns in America are defined by their paranormal personalities. The Roswell UFO Festival attracts droves of alien enthusiasts to New Mexico every July. Meanwhile, Point Pleasant in WV belongs to Mothman and Salem. While the state of MA has a tourism industry focused on the infamous witch trials, zombie walks and runs, and as well obstacle courses, along with proms, protests, and pub crawls are weekly occurrences in cities across America. I hope you enjoyed that top 10 list. Remember, if you enjoyed it, remember to hit that like button and that subscribe button. Remember to also watch more of my videos, as I'm sure you will enjoy them, and as always, thanks for watching. But they don't want it to be real, and they don't want it to be real. Okay, then let's just make a fucking movie.